Hello students, how are you? Hope all of you are fine and safe at your home. Students, in this video I give you chapter 2, We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, question answers. Now first the solution of questions on page number 13. Notice these expressions in the text, infer their meaning from the context. Here, honing our seafaring skill, this refers to the efforts made by the author and his wife to perfect or sharpen their seafaring skills. Ominous silence, the silence here refers to an impending danger. Mayday calls are radio telephonic words which signal aircrafts or ships stuck in a disastrous situation. Pinpricks in the vast ocean. This phrase expresses the search for two small islands in the vast ocean. A tousled head. This refers to hair in Desiree or the disarranged hair of the author's son Jonathan. Now from page number 18, from understanding the text, question number 1, list the steps taken by the captain to protect the ship when rough weather begin or to check the flooding of the water in the ship. So the answer of first is, when the rough weather began, the captain slowed down the boat by dropping the storm jib. He lashed heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. They prepared themselves for the worst case scenario by double lashing everything, going through life raft drill, attaching lifelines and donning life jackets and oil skins. Later, the narrator managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes. Second, to check the flooding of water in the ship, he put waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes which diverted the water to the side. When the hand pump got blocked, he connected a spare electric pump to an out pipe in order to drain out the water. After 36 hours of continuous pumping, they reached the last few centimeters of water. Now question number 2 is, describe the mental condition of the voyagers on 4 and 5 January. Answer. On January 4 and 5, the voyagers were completely tired after rigorous practice of continuous pumping. It was on the January 4 that they ate their first meal in almost 2 days. After a short respite, they continued to face bad weather conditions, and by the morning of January 5, the situation grew desperate. The narrator tried to comfort the children, but it is worth note that in spite of so many difficulties, the children displayed immense fearlessness. Jonathan confessed that they are not afraid to die as long as they all are together. Though this inspired the narrator to find the sea. By that evening, he was sure that their end was fast approaching. It was only because of the moral support of his children that he continued to make efforts. Question number 3. Describe the shift in the narration of the events as indicated in the 3 sections to the text. Give a suitable subtitle to each section. Now the first section opens on a cheerful note. The narrator and his family are all set for their ultimate dream to take up an around-the-world voyage like Captain James Cook did. They have perfected their seafaring skills. They begin the voyage, and despite of the bad weather, they celebrate Christmas on the Wave Walker. The second section, this part of narration covers the hazards faced by the voyagers. There is a shift in the narration from cheerful to intense. They find themselves in an extremely fatal and disastrous situation. A huge wave hits their boat and the narrator is thrown overboard. Despite getting injured, he maintains his composure and applies every possible way to tackle the critical situation. They manage to pump out maximum amount of water out of the boat in about 36 hours. But as they continue to face the bad weather conditions, the narrator loses hope. The children remains fearless, courageous, and optimistic throughout. The third section, the children provide moral support to the narrator and he continues with his efforts. Under the captaincy of the narrator, they manage to reach Isle Amsterdam. The narrator proves his seamanship and receives the title of the best daddy and the best captain from his children. The above three sections can be titled as follows. The first section, Round the World Voyage begins. The second section, The Attack of the Big Wave. And the third section, Ultimate Victory. Now go to the talking about the text. Question number 1 is, what difference did you notice between the reaction of the adults and the children when faced with danger? Answer. The adults exhibit immense courage. The narrator acts as the true captain of the ship and works out every possible way to handle the sudden crisis. It's mainly because of his undeterred effort that they survive. Mary supports her husband in the navigation of the ship. Larry and Herb too work endlessly to pump out the water. However, when things still do not seem to work out, the adults lose hope and wait for their end with a heavy heart. At this point, they are motivated by the children. The children offer moral support to the adults. They display maturity and tolerance. Jonathan expresses his fearlessness and courage when he says that they are not afraid of dying if they all can be together. Sue expresses her love and gratitude for her parents by making a greeting card. She is strong enough to not let her parents know about her serious injuries. She did not want to bother her parents in the time of crisis. Question number 2. How does the story suggest that optimism helps to endure the distressed stress? Answer. Optimism is a determination to overcome difficulties. It raises one's spirit and helps one overcome stress and difficulty with ease. The story displays courage and optimism throughout. Survival happens when only because of the optimistic struggle that the family carries on with. The level of perseverance in the author rises when Jonathan says, "We are not afraid of dying if we can all be together." Beside the caricatures of him and Mary, drawn by Sue, helps his determination and optimism to grow many folds. The positive outlook of the children infuses positivity in the narrator. He rigorously calculates their position and finally asks Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees. Though he had lost all hope by then, he did not show it and optimistically told Larry that they would spot the island about 5 p.m. Fortunately, their struggle and optimism pays off and they managed to find Isle Amsterdam by evening. Question number 3. What lesson do we learn from such hazardous experience when we are face to face with death? Answer. Such experience teaches us the potential that courage, perseverance and tolerance hold. It explains how one must react in the direst of the situation. It teaches us that one must never lose hope and try to find reasons to stay positive in the face of adversity. In such situation, one must try his or her best to remain calm and composed and understand the power of unity and teamwork. Moreover, the importance of common sense, putting continuous efforts to overcome the catastrophe and the significance of being extra cautious and careful and learned from such hazardous experience. Question number 4. Why do you think people undertake such adventurous expedition in spite of risk involved? Answer. The spirit of experience, unique elements of nature, undaunted passion and willingness to accept challenges drive people to take up adventurous expedition. The people who involve themselves in such activities are very well aware of the risk involved in them. But due to their passion and enthusiasm to do something unique and great, they willingly accept such challenges. Also, their desire to be in the lap of nature and experience its beauty pushes them to such expedition. So students, here we complete our understanding the text and talking about the text. So you have to write all these answers in your notebook and learn it.